Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're gonna be going over the all-new 2020 Ford Edge Titanium. Now, I was gonna go over an ST, and there actually is an ST right there. However, it's a 2019, which isn't a big deal because they really haven't changed anything. However, we're sticking to 2020s from now on. So anyways, we're gonna do a quick walk around on this Edge Titanium, almost said ST for some reason, and then we're gonna take it out to see how it drives. A huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Ford Lincoln here in Provo, Utah for providing us with the Edge. Check out their inventory in the link below. Under the hood here, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 250 horsepower and then 275 foot-pounds of torque, with fuel economy being 21 around town and then 28 on the highway. And I don't remember if I mentioned, but it's an 8-speed automatic. Now let's go over things on the front end of the Edge Titanium. I've got all the lights on so you guys can kind of see it. I know in the daytime it's a little bit difficult, but there are those LED accent lights with the projector bulbs that are just under them. The fog light housing is in that little area, and it's kind of an interesting little design take there. You do get parking sensors all along the front, and then you've got obviously the Ford emblem with their kind of signature grille here. And then since we aren't doing a review on the Edge ST, I just want to show you kind of the difference. So remember the front end of the Titanium, the ST, even though this is a 2019, they really haven't changed anything. Just so you can kind of see the front end difference with the grille and all of that. Around the side here, we've got 245, 55, 19 on the tire and rim setup. Same thing in the front as what's in the back. And then there actually is a little kind of like mud flap thing going on there. But anyways, with the rims, they've kind of just gone for these chrome rims, nothing too crazy. Obviously, the ST, it's gonna be all blacked out. I don't know why I'm using this car in the video so much, but it's right there, so it's easy access. But anyways, let's kind of take a step back so you guys can see the full profile. Here is our key fob on the Edge Titanium, Ford logo on the back. You got a couple functions here on the front. You've got your lock, unlock, remote start, and then the release for the rear hatch. If we lock it, it'll remote start. It happens really quickly though. Like, it's already started up. Pretty quiet though. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Anyways, press that button again, then I'll shut it off. Now if you press this twice, that is what will open up the rear hatch, fully automated, which as expected. Now before I throw up the seats, I just wanted to show you guys the rear area with the seats down. And no, I didn't do this, the seats were already down, so I'm just taking advantage of it just so you can see how much space is behind the seats. With the seats up in the back, this actually has a good amount of cargo space in the rear. It's a lot bigger than what I expected, just judging by how it looks on the outside. But here's your spare just underneath, and then this is if you have like a little cargo cover, you just use those little latches. That is to throw down the seats, so you just do that little thing. So like for example, boom, but you do have to pick it up manually afterwards. But it's kind of funny like how fast it actually falls down. Now when you are done with the rear, there's this little button right here, press that, and then the rear hatch is going to lower down again. Coming to the rest of the rear, I have the LED lights on, so again you can see what those look like, and the shadows are actually helping so you can fully see it. You got the regular logos on the back, Ford logo, Edge, Titanium, all the normal stuff. Dual outlet exhaust, and then this one does have a little tow package so you can tow with it. And then there are little parking sensors there on the bottom of the bumper in the rear as well. And then here is your 3/4 angle on it. There is keyless entry here in the back, which is a nice little touch. Here is the rear door panel. Now this one is kind of a pretty cool color combination. So you have the red on the outside and then you got the cream on the inside. I think it looks cool. It's kind of like a dessert. Like this car has like, it looks like a dessert. Anyways, black trim right here. It's a little bit softer touch than the padding just up above it. And then you do get the little window control right there on this black paneling. Now there are the seats in the back that I kind of already showed. But again, they have the nicer upgraded leather with the perforations in them. You do get a little cup holder for the rear passengers. Here is the whole kind of like center console area. So heated seats, vents for the rear passengers, a couple charging stations, and then I do have the seat where I'm basically drive the car. So we're gonna pop in here just to kind of sit in the back seat. Now, legroom is pretty decent. I think that you kind of give up a little bit of legroom for the room that you get in the trunk. But in terms of headroom, I'm about 5'11", and I've got a decent amount before I actually hit the top of it. And here's my close-up. Same keyless entry here on the front, so I just unlocked it by touching that, and then that would lock it. Do have blind spot monitoring in the mirror. Now the door panel in the front is the same as the rear, so I'm not going to focus on that. What I am going to tell you is the controls are on all the normal places. So window and mirror controls right here, memory seat controls, door lock and unlock controls right there. Now here are the seats in the front of the titanium. Again, that beautiful white leather with the perforations all throughout. The actual feel of it is soft to the touch. Now your power adjustments for the seat are going to be on the side. That's what the little pedals look like. And then here are all of the light controls. Like I said, it does have the fog lights. That is to open up the tailgate. And then the steering wheel is actually automatically adjustable. And then there's the little paddles that are on the back of the steering wheel. But here's one more look at the full front before we pop in. Now to start it up, just put your foot on the brake, push the push start. And then you've got two different screens that will illuminate here at the front gauge cluster. Here's our full view of the steering wheel in the Edge Titanium. Now in terms of controls, this is for the little center screen, and that's for the other little center screen. So there's two different control tabs for that. Now over here of all your controls for the phone, Bluetooth, radio, all that's on that side. On the other side is all your controls for the cruise control. This is like the distance setting, and that is obviously to keep you in the lane. Black stitching on the steering wheel. And in terms of the feeling around the steering wheel, it's kind of like the rougher leather. Hopefully that makes sense. That is the stock to do the brights, turn signal, all that, and then your windshield wiper stock is on the other side. There's a little gauge cluster in the center, so it's flanked by two screens. The screen on the side here seems to be basically vehicle information on the car, and then also gives you like the speed, whereas the screen on the other side is entertainment, phone, and navigation. So I guess you have your vehicle imperative stuff on the left. On the right, you've got the entertainment stuff for the car, and then big old speedo there in the center. Here is the center screen. Before I go into the screen, let's do the reverse function. It's just like all of Ford's other backup cameras, so there's kind of like the resolution on it. Now actually getting into the rest of the screen, do get dual zone climate on it. Here's the navigation function on it. It does take a second to load up, but you can see we're here in Provo, Utah. And then the rest of the functions here, so the rest of the stuff on the screen, I mean, it's just like all the other stuff with Ford. In terms of the responsiveness on it, it's pretty good. Plastic does get in the way a little bit. It does have Apple CarPlay, which is a nice touch. Ooh, got ambient lighting too. Let's see how many colors we have. More colors than what my Ford Raptor has. I got ripped off. No, just kidding. But yeah, pretty good infotainment system. It's just like on all of Ford's other upgraded stuff, I guess. Down from that infotainment system, we actually have the rest of the camera system. So there's the little camera button there, and we're going back to this system, but you can see the little frontal view there, so we can see those people walking in front of us. Little do they know that they are now in a YouTube video, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty good. And then we've got the controls for the climate, and then also the radio down here. It does have heated and ventilated seats. And then this is a little storage tab, so obviously you can just press that, open it up. Do get a couple little charging stations in there. And then it does have wireless charging. You can see the little battery icon on that part. A couple cup holders up front. Here's the shifter. It is a dial shifter. I like the feel of it. And then if you want to shift the gears yourself, just press the little S button and that'll let you do that. Parking brake is right here. That's your auto stop start. That's the parking sensors, and then that's the perpendicular and parallel parking assistance. And then here is the center console. Now opening it up, got another charging station, and looks like it's got a little shelf that fell down. We'll just leave that there. But finishing storage off, I got the glove box, and there's kind of a view in there so you guys can see the size of it. I do like the little trim just above that. Now this is the sunglass holder, which nothing crazy there. It does have a sunroof, which I'm gonna just do the shade function so you guys can see the full panoramic roof. Not gonna open it up though, because it's kind of chilly today and also windy as well. But yeah, there is the full panoramic sunroof here in the Edge Titanium. Well, now that we have wrapped everything up on the interior, let's briefly go over pricing. So how this specific Edge Titanium is spec'd out makes this one sticker for about $46,000 before any type of market adjustment. And just to clarify, market adjustment means the vehicle could go above or below MSRP, just depends on what the market is for that vehicle. That all being said though, let's take this Edge Titanium out to see how it drives. So before we set off here in the Edge, I almost said ST again, Edge Titanium. I'll get that stuck in my head. Anyways, visibility, you can see that over the hood. There's visibility through the side mirror. There is the other mirror. And then here is the visibility all throughout the rear. And it's a pretty cool view out the panoramic sunroof here. But let's twist the dial here to drive and set off initially. And I think I'm gonna start doing these reviews kind of in the parking lot. And the reason I wanna do that is just so you guys can kind of see how these are able to maneuver through a parking lot. Because I imagine most of the vehicles that I review, at least, people are gonna wanna see how they can, I guess, drive them in not like crazy tight situations, but just like how they're able to drive them around on a regular basis. And man, that is an ugly Raptor. Who would ever own that? That's just silly. But yeah, from a turning perspective, the steering is really light and it's extremely easy to maneuver through a parking lot. Like just getting it into parking spaces, all that kind of stuff, super easy, no problem whatsoever. Now, initially setting off here in the Edge Titanium, the ride quality so far on the road, I mean, it's really smooth. I would say this is pretty much maybe like just a little bit above average for just like most modern SUVs or SUVs in this specific segment. Now we're getting to this little roundabout here. We can kind of see the steering, and geez, people just like flying through these. Yeah, I mean, it maneuvers through there really easy. The steering's really light, and in terms of like the road noise that comes through, not really a whole lot. I get a little bit of tire noise, but it's pretty well insulated. Not really a whole lot of wind noise. It's actually pretty windy outside today, and I don't really hear it blowing up against a car or anything like that. So super solid on that part. And now I gotta wait for a minute. We are about to get a little acceleration here. Well, we have to wait for this really slow forward. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Now I can go. Oh, and of course he decides to turn. So now we've got to wait for it again. Okay, now we can get another acceleration. We get a double acceleration in today's video. Yeah, it's pretty good. It actually doesn't have a lot of turbo lag. I'm surprised by that. I thought that it would, just because it's such a small engine. It's only a 2-liter 4-cylinder. But it has a good amount of low-end torque just right off the bat. Yeah, and it really doesn't lag all that much. It's really good from an acceleration standpoint, so it's solid. Obviously, if you want more power, go for the Edge ST. But now I'm actually gonna wrap things up, and what I'm gonna say is this Edge Titanium is great if you want to get a little bit better fuel economy than what the ST is gonna get. Yes, it doesn't have as much power, but like I said, you will get a little bit better fuel economy. It does cost a little bit less as well. So just all of the expenses associated with this vehicle are gonna be a little bit less. And I feel like the acceleration is more than adequate. More power would obviously be fun, but it doesn't need more power. That is gonna sum things up for our video on the 2020 Ford Edge Titanium. I just wanted to give a huge thank you again to the Larry T. Miller Ford Lincoln here in Provo, Utah for providing us with the Edge. Definitely check out their inventory in the link below if you're in the market for a new Ford or Lincoln. If you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe. I will see all of you in that next video.